Jade Empire was developed for the original Xbox back in 2005. The game was later ported over to the PC in 2007 with a special edition that had a few changes, including new textures, new characters, and a few other goodies. Jade Empire is special for a lot of role-playing game fans because it was developed by the studio Bioware. And not the new Bioware of late, we're talking vintage Bioware, the same team who made the classic Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic for the Xbox a few years prior. It's interesting because Jade Empire borrows a few elements from that game to make something new. But what is the story here? Jade Empire takes place in a world that is heavily inspired by Asian mythology. Your character is the last of a group of spirit monks that were wiped out by the corrupted Emperor Sun Hai. The Emperor rules the Jade Empire and was responsible for many of the hardships that plague its citizens, mostly due to his army using ancient magic and causing the dead to not find peace in the afterlife. After being rescued by your master as a child and trained in the martial arts, you are tasked with fulfilling a great destiny to save the Jade Empire and restore balance to the spirit realm. But who said it will go exactly as planned? This is a Bioware game after all, and things change based on your choices, whether they are good or evil. Will you fulfill your destiny and change the fates of those around you? And more importantly, does this make Jade Empire the classic RPG that many claim it to be?
Men! Gal the Greater wants this village cleared. Get the job done. Longsword. You won't see me coming.
While being set in a mythological Asian empire, there's a heavy focus on combat in here, despite this being an RPG where you could explore the area around you. Fighting isn't fully turn-based, nor is it completely real-time combat. It's a blending of both. You could freely move around during combat and attack enemies. You have 4 different styles of fighting that you could switch between, with extra styles you can equip as you discover and unlock them. There are weapon attacks, magic spells, and variations of both with different effects on you and your enemies. What's interesting is how you could chain together attacks from different styles, which can lead to more damage and crowd control over combat. You also have an ally that accompanies you in combat, which you could change at any time when you're not fighting. The allies are cool, but you only have one at a time and they don't always feel like they're helping out. Some allies also don't fight directly, but instead give you various boosts that you could pick up during combat, which is neat and different. But you'll most likely stick with someone who can actually fight with you in battles instead of hanging out on the side. The other part of Jade Empire is the exploration. Much like other Bioware games, you have these large areas to move around and take on quests from citizens you encounter. Most of the time, you're doing fetch quests or taking out groups of enemies for EXP. Getting around does take time when you have to traverse larger areas, with no real way to speed things up, so exploring can turn into a drag at times. The quests themselves are fine and aren't really a problem, but I do feel like the locations in Jade Empire really lack personality to stand out from everywhere else. Some places look too similar to others or just feel empty. It's not like going to any of the planets from Knights of the Old Republic, where each location looked and felt unique. Unlike in Jade Empire, where even some of the characters you interact feel overly generic at times, with a few standouts far and few in between. There are moments when you could talk to your allies and get some more backstory with them while exploring, which breaks things up a bit, but I still wish that the environments and what I did in them stood out a little bit more and stuck with me for long after I finished playing. So after everything that I've said, what can we conclude from all of this? Can I recommend that you play Jade Empire on any platform? I think that the game is good if you love Bioware style RPGs, but if you want to see the best that Bioware has to offer, then this wouldn't be my first recommendation. I feel like you could get a better experience that is more memorable if you played Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic instead. A lot of what you get in Jade Empire is in that game, except for the active combat, which I really like in here. That doesn't make Jade Empire bad by any means. It's still a pretty good game to check out. You'll be busy playing it for just under 30 hours if you decide to do everything. But the honest truth is that Jade Empire wouldn't be the first Bioware game that I would say you need to play. Some players might disagree with me on that, and I understand why. But I think that all of us can agree that Jade Empire was intriguing for RPG fans nonetheless.
Destiny has a way of changing the rules. We have come this far. I could not bear to lose you.
If you two are through, we must find your master, and the truth of what has been happening in the Empire. I can only hope that my father has been the victim in this. I pray he has the answers I seek. The fate of the Empire depends on it.